I'm Helaine Blumenthal. I am unable to drive. I am blind, and I'm unable to drive. I have never driven. Yes, so what do people not understand about what it means to not be able to drive? The first thing that popped into my head, actually, is the amount of planning that has to go in when you need to get somewhere. Whether that's deciding you're going to use public transportation and looking at the routes and the schedules, whether that's going to be planning a lift and how much that's going to cost, and there's just a considerable amount of planning that has to go in to when you are unable to drive, and you have to think about getting from point A to point B. That doesn't happen when you don't drive. In an ideal world, I would hope that our politicians or whoever has the ability to, policymakers, would understand that the needs of their constituents who cannot drive are just as important as those who can drive. I mean, let's face it, we live in a car-dominated society everywhere in this country. San Mateo is no exception to this, but that our voices matter too, and that our quality of lives matter. And that, like, I really would hope that when they're thinking about planning, that they take our experiences into account, and actually incorporate it into their policy, and not just yes, we are likely a minority, and I understand that, but our needs are still important, but also understanding, and this is something that I think comes into play with all sorts of stuff surrounding disability, is that often when you make lives better, when you make social and physical conditions better for people with disabilities, you actually you improve the quality of life of everybody. We were on a walk in downtown San Mateo over the weekend, and we're talking about the crosswalk signals that tell you when you can go or when you can't, verbally, and I bet you there's people who make use of that who don't have a vision impairment. There's lots of different use cases. So don't just think about this as a disability issue or a senior issue. It is an issue that affects multitudes of people regardless of their physical ability.